everyone! Have you ever imagined teaching in the classroom where every student has different backgrounds, different personalities, different cultures, and even different way of learning? Some students are active, some students are very quiet. Now, imagine this: how can a teacher communicate effectively with all of them? That is exactly why the book Classroom Communication and Diversity is very important for teachers today. This book was written by Robert G. Powell, discuss how communication and diversity shape the learning process in the modern classroom. So, this book is talking about the communication and diversity in the classroom. It was published by Rogers in 2010. So, in this book, teaching is not only about lesson plan or technology, but teacher also must know how to communicate with students effectively. The author explained that today classrooms are very diverse. Students may have different cultures, language, gender, learning style, and abilities. Because of this diversity, teachers need to master their communication skills to create a positive learning environment. So this book is divided into four main units: foundations, understanding diversity, building positive teacher-students, and best instructional communication strategies. So the book combines theory, real classroom situation, and also the practical strategies that teachers can directly use in the school. So why communication matters in the classroom? For me, one of the most interesting part is in the first chapter. This chapter begins with a real classroom example about a Native American student named Desmond. The teachers think Desmond is refusing to participate, but actually his culture teach him to that silence is respectful. So this example shows sometimes classroom problems are not caused by bad students, but by the misunderstanding or miscommunication. So the book explains that communication is not simple talking communicative, also involve language, gesture, facial expression, listening, classroom environment, and even the culture. So for example, a teacher's tone of voice can motivate students. The eye contact can show care and attention, and a classroom seating arrangement can influence participants. So the book also explains that effective teachers are good listener, not only good speaker. I think it's very relevant because many students feel ignored when teachers only focusing on giving instruction without really listening what they want. Another important topic in this book is diversity. So the author explained that diversity is not only about race or ethnicity. Diversity also includes gender, social class, language, culture, and students with special needs. The book teaches teachers to see diversity as a strength but not as a problem. For example, classrooms today are linguistically diverse. Some students speak English as a second language, and others may use different accents or dialects. And the books warn teachers not to assume that students with different accents are less intelligent. I think this message is very important because in real life, many students lose confidence when they are judged because of the way they speak. And the book also discusses students with disabilities and special education needs. It explains that all students deserve equal opportunities. Another interesting point is that teachers should create a culturally responsive classroom. This means teachers should respect students' background and connect lessons to students' experience, such as discussing local culture, allowing different perspectives, and encourage students to share their identities. So this can make learning more meaningful and inclusive. The book also explains factors that influence in learning. According to the authors, learning is affected by student ability, motivation, and classroom communication. And one interesting theory discusses multiple intelligence by Howard Gardner. The book explains that students are smart in different ways. Maybe students are smart or good at language, or maybe at music, at art, or maybe good at social interaction. So teachers shouldn't use only one teaching style for all of the students. And I really like this idea because every student has a unique strength, has a unique background personality. So the book also discusses about the comparative learning, positive classroom management, and the use of technology in the teaching. So this makes the book particularly not only theoretical. Teacher can directly apply many of the strategies in the real classroom, and in my opinion, this book is very useful for future teachers or education students. Why? Because teaching today is not easy as we thought. Teachers face students from many different backgrounds, and communication problems can happen every day in the classroom. So this book helps teachers to understand students better, create inclusive classroom, improve the communication, and also build a positive relationship. And I also like that the book uses the real classroom example, so reader can understand the concept more easily. But some part of the book are quite academic and detailed, especially the theories about communication and learning. So beginner overall, I think this is actually an educational book because the practical strategies that includes in the book. So this book, The Classroom Communication and Diversity, teach us the good teaching is not only about delivering information. Good teaching is about understanding student, respecting diversity, building relationship, and communicating effectively. So in diverse classroom, communication can either create a connection or even create a misunderstanding. So that's why teacher must learn how to communicate with empathy, awareness, and respect. So maybe that's all from me. Thank you for watching. See you.